Hello, welcome to today's video. Before I get started, I do want to thank everyone for buying from my shop this year. Thank you so much. You have sold me out of a lot of items, but I do still have journals left. I have some lined and unlined journals, and I have tea left. And midday Friday, I am shutting down the shop, and I will not be selling any more tea or journals until February of next year. So if you wanted to try any of the green rooibos or the red rooibos, make sure you order before this Friday, the 22nd. That will be the last day I'm shipping items out. And same with journals. If you want to buy a new journal for the new year for yourself, obviously these things won't come in time for Christmas, but if they're just for you, they will make it to you at some point. So I will be shipping those items out on Friday and then closing the shop, and I won't be reopening it until February. Thank you to everyone who has purchased from the shop. I really appreciate it. I am sharing with you today the best products that I bought from Azure Standard this year. So I have a all-time favorites video of Azure Standard of everything that I love to get from them. I will link that below. That is not what I'm doing today because I buy things in such large quantities. There are several of my favorite items that didn't make this cut because I didn't buy them this year, because I already had them from last year, last November. I think I did a $600 haul of all my grains. So I didn't have to buy any of my wheat berries or whole grains at all this year because I stored those in my buckets with the gamma lids, and I only bought one 50-pound bag of grains, and that was last month. And so there are many items that are not included in this video that I do love to get from Azure. And then the items that are included in this video are the ones that I love. Azure is the only place that I will get them because it is the best quality and the best price that I can find. And that's the case most of the time. If you're buying in bulk, it will be more expensive up front, but it should last you much longer, and the price per pound or the price per ounce ends up being much greater than if you just bought the smaller quantity. And we really value supporting companies and family-owned businesses who share our values, and for us, Azure Standard falls under that. I will say one thing that I've moved away from buying from Azure this year is a lot of the fresh produce. I've been trying to find that as locally as possible. We have a drop in our state of locally grown food, and so I've been trying to use them for buying my sweet potatoes that I used to get from Azure, other seasonal things. I've tried to limit that and really try to keep that within our area or our region because Azure is obviously across the country from us. And so that is something that I have shifted this year more than any other year, is really trying to keep all of our fresh produce local as much as I can. I did buy some Rainier cherries from Azure this year because they were on sale, and they did end up being delicious. And it's hard to find organic cherries where we are. So I have it by categories. We're going to start with the frozen items. For me, you can't go wrong with any of Azure Standard's market brand of the frozen fruits. So we make smoothies every single morning, and for our smoothies, I will always add frozen blueberries. So they have a great price on a 5-pound bag of organic blueberries. It does fluctuate. Sometimes I can get it for $13. Other times I end up paying $15 or $16. So that just depends. I don't know if it depends on who they get it from or what, but usually it's around $13 to $16 for a 5-pound bag of organic blueberries, which is a really good deal. Another item that we love to get from them is frozen mango, and this we also add to our smoothies. Also, we were gifted one of the Ninja ice cream makers, and our favorite ice cream, besides like ice cream, our favorite sorbet is the coconut milk with the mango. It is so delicious and creamy. It's usually around $18 for a 5-pound bag. I also bought the organic frozen cherries this year, and I used those to make gummies, and I also add those to our smoothies, and that was really good too. And the blueberries, the cherries are great for if you want to make tarts or crumbles. So it's a great value. All of their frozen fruits I think are really good deals for buying organic. I also love their brand of the frozen vegetables, specifically the broccoli. So you can get 2 5-pound bags of these for $31, which is a great deal because if you only buy the one 5-pound bag, it's $18, so it's cheaper to get both. And we bought this back in the summer and we eat broccoli all the time. Steamed broccoli, I add broccoli to like our casseroles or to soups, and it's wonderful. It's nice just to have a lot of broccoli on hand, and the price per pound ends up being a really good deal. Okay, so next on to the cold items. We are starting off with my probably top item that I get from them, and that is the Sierra Nevada 5-pound blocks of cheese. Every time I order it, I always do the 2 5-pound blocks of cheese because it ends up being much cheaper doing it that way. And I try to wait until they do a sale because normally every 4 months they do a sale and then I'll stock up on them and then they will last me for a very long time. If you don't go through cheese a lot and you're worried about it going off because it does come in a 5-pound block, you can easily shred it up and put it in stasher bags or storage bags, or put it in the freezer and then you can use it that way. For us, we eat cheese nearly every single day, so I never have to worry about it going moldy. What I usually end up doing is just opening it up, cutting away whatever we need from it, wrapping it back up, and then I put it in one of our beeswax wrappers and then put it in the fridge. And I've never had a cheese go off from doing it this way, and this is what we've done for about a year and a half now, and it's worked perfectly for us. I used to do the shredded cheese, but I also just really like sometimes at night having a little slice of cheese. It's nice to be able to keep it fresh. And so this ends up being a great deal. This is the best quality cheese I've been able to find at a price that I am okay with spending. So their cows spend 300 days on grass. Majority of their diet is grass, and then the grains that they do end up feeding them is non-GMO grains. So all of that I really like because a lot of times when you buy raw cheese, the cows aren't grass-fed and they are being fed GMO grains, which isn't great. And obviously, if you can get it locally from your local farmer, your local dairy farmer, that's even more ideal because you know exactly the practices. But for me, this is the next best thing. Next is another Sierra Nevada product, and that is their butter. So I ordered the 15 blocks of 1-pound butter sticks. They were on sale, so it was $111, and I ordered it probably in May or June, and I still have about 4 of these left, and we go through butter. So I was tired of every time I needed butter of having to make a trip to the grocery store. So I was like, you know what? That is something that I need to figure out how to have in my pantry. And so that's why I bought this, and I'm so grateful that I have. I have just put them in the freezer and then they thaw perfectly. And I've had some people say, how do you know measurement wise? Because of the way it is, it's not in your normal sticks to where you can easily see the tablespoon marks. And what I've done, if I need to know the tablespoon amount, I'll just do how many grams is in a tablespoon of butter. I'll chop it, put it on a scale, and then that's how I weigh out how much tablespoons I need. That really hasn't bothered me that they come in these packages. And again, I just chop off what I needed and I fold the plastic over, and sometimes I'll wrap it, sometimes I won't. I'll just use the plastic from this and wrap it over itself. And so I've really liked this, and this is something that I'll definitely continue to do, is buy it in this bulk quantity. That way it's just another thing I don't have to think about or have to spend more money on because I'm paying full price for a smaller amount of a good quality brand at the grocery store. The last refrigerated item that I love getting from them is the 1 pound of ginger it's around $6, and that's a great deal because we do ginger tea most mornings, and I use ginger if I'm making my chai concentrate recipe. I like adding ginger to our smoothies, and for organic ginger, it's a really good price per pound. It's nice just to get a bulk quantity of it. It lasts in the fridge. Okay, next up is our pantry staples. So I'm starting with this one. It comes not refrigerated, but you should refrigerated after opening it, and that is the Coconut Secret Coconut Aminos. So this is the alternative that we use to soy sauce. I actually would have preferred to get the big jug of it, but they were out of it when I needed it, so I just ordered the 16.9 fluid ounce, which still ends up being a much better deal than getting the smaller sizes or even this size at most grocery stores or organic shops. A new product that Azure Standard brought in this year is their chocolate chips that is sweetened with coconut sugar. This is the bittersweet one, which I really like, and I have bought this twice now, the 5-pound bag, and it is my absolute favorite. I've talked about it before, but it is probably the only chocolate chips I will buy because I don't snack on them as much for some reason. I just don't. So the normal bittersweet chocolate chips that they sell with sugar, I find that I get addicted to eating them throughout the day, whereas these I don't, but they still taste really good in chocolate chip cookies or any other treats that you make with chocolate. It tastes like your normal chocolate chips. I've never noticed that anyone notices that it's sweetened with coconut sugar. It is a little bit expensive. It's $38 for 5 pounds, but for what it is, if you were to get that same ingredients being organic at the store, I think it would be way more expensive. This is one of my favorite new items that they've offered this year. Another new item that they came out with was their own brand of the King coconut water, and you get 12 in a pack for $18, and I think it tastes delicious. We drink a lot of coconut water. It's very good for you. It helps keep you hydrated, gives you lots of minerals and potassium. This ends up being a very good price per ounce, and I really love that it comes in these glass jars. I reuse these glass jars in many different ways. They are very functional, and so it's nice to be able to have something that you don't have to throw away the packaging of because the glass jars are so useful. Another favorite item that I get from Azure, and this is when they're on sale. So the Equal Exchange brand comes on sale probably every 3 or 4 months, and then all of their chocolate bars go on sale, and that is when I will buy these because the bars end up being about $2.89 if you get 3 of them. Or one time I bought the box of 12 bars and it ended up being even cheaper, and so I've never seen the price of these that cheap at the store before, so I like to buy these from Azure when they're on sale, and this one and the peppermint one are our 2 favorites. And another favorite item is the coconut sugar from them. I again order the 5-pound bag. It's cheaper than most other places, and so that's one of my favorite things to get from them. I also get my organic cane sugar from them in the 25-pound bag, and that is something that has maintained the same price throughout all the other inflations, if it's still the same. Every time I've bought it, it's $31. So it's a good price for what it is, and it usually will last us a very long time, so I like getting our sugar from them. And I've mentioned I like getting all of our wheat berries and grains from them, but because I bought a huge amount last November, I haven't had to buy any this year except for last month. I noticed that the 50-pound bag of soft wheat berries that were organic were $19, which is an amazing deal. So I didn't actually need them, but because the price was so good, and that is something that fluctuates because the year before at that time it was, I think, $35 or $39. So I went ahead and ordered a 50-pound bag of that. This is what I use for making all of our cookies and pastries and cakes and pancakes. All of those items are what I use my soft wheat berries for. Another favorite item that doesn't come refrigerated, but I do end up refrigerating it, is the Maple Valley organic syrup, and pretty much any size that you get this in, it will end up being a good deal. And again, this is one of those items that I wait until there is a sale on it, and then I will buy it, and it will last us a very long time. It is a delicious syrup. It's so, so good. I use this to make our marshmallows, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll link that video below of how to make your own homemade marshmallows. I use this for sweetening our hot chocolate at night. In different recipes where I don't want to use sugar, I'll use maple syrup. So this is a go-to item that I will only buy from Azure. And the last of the pantry items is the Lakewood Organic Lemon Juice. I go through this stuff so fast during canning season because you need lemon juice for your pasta sauce and all of those type of things. So that is the main reason why I buy it. And I also like to use this for making lemonade if I don't have fresh lemons on hand. This is a nice alternative. I have only bought this from Azure for years now because it does end up being the best price, but you have to buy the 6-pack in order for it to be the best price. Lastly, the non-food items that are my favorite. The first being the glass drinking straw. This is another new item that they brought in. I think it was around $5.80, and I use this all the time. In the video that I shared this in when I got it, I said I didn't have a cup to put it in, so I would still have to use my stainless steel straws for my Yeti cups, but I forgot I had this one and it fits perfectly in it. So this has been my cup of when I'm going out with a cold drink. So I'm loving the glass straw, and it does come with a brush to clean it. And another item that I only get from Azure when it's on sale is the parchment paper. So if you get it in the 3-packs, it ends up being cheaper, but that's when it is on sale, is when it is the best deal. I use the parchment paper for if I'm making cookies or if I'm cooking something like a ham. Instead of putting the foil on it, my mom has taught me to then put the parchment paper on it first, then put the foil on it, and that way you're not getting any aluminum into the food, but you're protected from the parchment paper. Another thing that I got this year from them was this stainless steel sprouting screen. So I had a plastic lid that screws onto mason jars, and I still use that. It's nice to have two because then you can be sprouting 2 different things at once. I do really like this one because it fits right directly on a wide mouth mason jar, and you just use your lid and screw it on. And this was, I think, $3.60. Another item that is just cute that I recently got is the stainless steel whisk from Norpro, and this was 50 cents on sale, and I've used this so many times since I've gotten it. And lastly, the Kirk's Castile soap bar. I use in the shower and it is wonderful. I have not gotten into soap making yet. I would love to, I haven't gotten that far yet. So until then, these are a great price. Again, when they're on sale, you can buy the 3-pack, and I think it ends up being around $4.50, which makes it a very good price, a little over $1 per bar, which today is, for good quality soap, is hard to find. A lot of soap bars end up being a lot more money. So I really like the Kirk's ones, but again, I wait until they go on sale and then I buy the 3-pack. So these are all of my favorite items that I've purchased from Azure this year. I hope that you've enjoyed this video today and that it's been helpful for you, and that you have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day.